And it's not about reaching as many people so you can put money in your pocket. I like to make money as much as anybody else does. I have, you know, rent and car payments and kids and ex-wives, God please. The point is to get as many people with their eyeballs and ears on what it is that you do really well. And in my case, whether it's write books or do photography or produce or be in different bands, tour, it's something I'm proud of and I do because I love it. And hopefully people will discover that. And again, back to radio, radio can use that relationship with their audience to do the same thing. They can spread what they do too. There's so many different things we could all do together.
It's kind of what you touched on earlier when you said radio needs to be more portable. And
absolutely more portable.
So it's really kind of your opinion that radio needs to be on the cell phones, in the pockets, online, have a video component and all that, which is what you're doing with most things at 11/7.
Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, I would be in my car and I would have just a couple radio stations, and I was kind of sort of trapped, and I would get that music coming at me all the time. And you know, now there's so many different people have iPods, for example, and I find myself, you know, plugging in my iPod in my car or burning my own CD, or there's Sirius and there's XM, and there's so many different ways of getting music that I think it's important for radio to realize that they don't have a captive audience. You got to do whatever you can get. You got to go with the audience. If it has to be, you know, portable, you have to go with the audience or reach them in different ways.
Does your audience span the decades? I mean, your career as a rock star really kind of started in '81, and here you are in 2008 with fresh new music from 2 different bands. Talk about that a little bit, because you told me that you see a lot of young kids coming out to see 6 a.m. and Motley shows.
It's interesting about, I did a band called Brides of Destruction, and it wasn't successful, but what it was really raw and really honest, and I actually took it to Europe and took it around America, and we played clubs. And what I found when I was out there sort of slugging it out in the clubs again, even though I could at any time go play arenas with Motley Crue, I really wanted to get back to basics, is that there's a lot of bands that are coming out of garages, and you know, they're raw and they're dirty, and they really want it really bad. They want to work with radio, they want to, sometimes they don't even want record deals. And I talk to these bands and they don't even want record deals. They want to do it themselves, they want to distribute it themselves, they want to create their own radio stations on their own websites. You know, they're tired of being controlled, and they're hungry and they're raw, and I saw that a lot when I was out there, you know, because I would be playing with all these like local bands, young bands. It's just really, really interesting what's going on out there, and being 49 years old and having 14-year-olds in the audience, it's pretty cool, you know, and they know all the lyrics, and then their older brother, and then their father, uncle. I saw this a while ago when I went to see the Rolling Stones, I'd say 15 years ago, and I was dumbfounded. It was like there was guys in suits with their ties loosened. They just came home from work, and they were with their kid, and the kid had a Beggar's Banquet shirt on, and I was just like, how is this happening? Well, it's happening because they continue to make great music. And if you stick around long enough and you continue to make great music, you'll get reinvented, and you'll get rediscovered.
You talked about some of these new bands that may possibly